Hi, this is Sarah, Jamona's coworker. I think I have to unmute you. Just a second.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Good, good. Alhamdulillah. All well.
Yes. Do you have all the controls at the bottom of your screen? I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I can see the share screen.
Okay,
So,
good. Okay, tamam. I'll start admitting people. Should I do it on the clock or 10 minutes before the session?
it's up to you يعني. I would suggest إن إذا يكون 10 minutes before
Okay,
عادة by 6 o'clock إذا مثلا إذا أعطيناهم by 6 o'clock يمكن يتأخرون أكثر بعد.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, tamam. 10 minutes before the session, I'll start admitting people then.
All right.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks. Sarah, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. Just two quick questions. The name of your society is Manama Hub, yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
على أساس إن أول شيء أشكركم يعني على الانيشيتيف. Just want to clarify. And
Yes.
شيء ثاني, would you advise and I upload the presentation at least with the title so that when the audience comes, they get to see the title, or تحسين إن you want to put a presentation first?
Sorry, say that again.
Shall I upload the title of today's presentation, or
Yes, yes.
do you have a presentation that you want to upload before?
No, you can upload the title.
All right, great. Then I'm going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, sir. Can you view the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Hello? Hello?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the session today. Before I start the session, just wanted to clarify, can everybody hear my voice? Is my voice clear? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So welcome to today's session. Before we start the session, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mela Mahab for nominating me to be presenting today. It's an honor and a privilege to be here to present today's title, Creating a Bank Account, Budgeting and Saving. Just to give you a brief introduction about myself before we start the session. My name is Ahmed Najid Askar. These are my work experience. I started working in the banking sector in 2009. So from 2009 till 2015, I was a relationship manager at BBK's corporate banking division. Usually relationship managers provide banking solutions to companies and entities who require such services. In 2015, I moved to Khaliji Commercial Bank, which is an Islamic retail bank, as a senior manager. And again, as a role, it was a relationship manager and corporate banking division. That was for a period of 2 years. In 2017, I moved back to BBK, but I shifted my career from business to risk management. In November 2020 till date, I'm taking the position of acting head of credit review department in BBK. I'm also a part-time lecturer at Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance since 2014. My educational background, I graduated from University of Bahrain with a bachelor's degree in accounting. In 2009, I have passed the CFA Level 1 examination. I obtained my master's degree in 2015. Before that, I have passed the Certified Management Accountant certificate. In 2016, I got the Foundations of Financial Risk certificate, and I am currently a candidate for the Financial Risk Management. Please take a note on the contact details. My mobile number is 36361193. My email is askar585@gmail.com. If you have any inquiries, any questions, you require any guidance or advisory, or you would like to leave your feedback on today's session, please do not hesitate to contact me. I will try to respond to you as soon as possible. So again, mark the email, mark the contact number. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me the questions. Don't be shy, I am friendly. Now, what do we have in today's presentation? Today's presentation covers two main titles. The first title is creating a bank account. So we want to know first, what is a bank account? Why should we, as individuals, open a bank account? What are the different types of bank account that's available for us to open? What is required from you in order to open a bank account? And of course, some, let's say, tips or consideration or hints that you need to consider when you want to open a bank account. Once we're done with these items, we'll move to the main heading in today's presentation, which is the budgeting and saving. So we need to ask ourselves, why should we save and not spend our money? What is the difference between saving and investment? Because from what I see in the market, there is some sort of a confusion between the concept of saving and investment. The third part is how should we budget in order for us to reach our desired saving targets. If you have any questions, any inquiries, you would like to share your experience, please feel free to do so. I always encourage my sessions to be as interactive as possible because this is a learning experience, not only for you, but it's a learning experience for me as well. So let us pull together our experiences. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me at any point of time. So let's start off. Now, when we start with the first heading, what is or creating a bank account, we want to ask ourselves what is meant by a bank account. Now, think of a bank account as if you are opening a record, or let's be more technical, you want to open a ledger with the bank, where in this record or in this ledger, you would see what are the deposits that you have made, when have you withdrawn those money, have you transferred these funds to anywhere. So basically, it's a record on what you own with the bank. So with a bank account, you will be able to deposit excess funds if you have. You will be able to withdraw those funds depending on the type of account that you have opened. You will be able to transfer your fund abroad. And of course, you can earn interest or from an Islamic perspective, profit on the amount that you have deposited. So basically, the bank account allows you to have or access the banking services. There are a variety of banking services that banks offer that facilitate our saving and spending requirements. Now, if you want to open a bank account, 3 years back, if you ask me how should I open a bank account, I would tell you that you would have to collect your documents or the required documents to open an account, which we will come to as we move on in the presentation. You will have to go to the branch, wait in the queue if there are a lot of customers. Then once your time comes or your turn arrives, you would have to spend 10 to 15 minutes with the customer service for them to open an account with you. Today, we know that we are living in a world of advanced technology. Now, I know that currently we are in COVID-19 situation. It's an unfortunate situation, difficult times. However, there are always lessons to be learned in these difficult times. One of the key lessons that are learned is we need to push our technological banking services. So accordingly, if you want to open a bank account today, I would come and tell you that there are a variety of banks within Bahrain that offer mobile applications. Now, I would like to share with you some of my personal experiences in these presentations. So I have opened 2 bank accounts while I am sitting at home. And it only took a matter of 5 minutes or 10 minutes for me to open these accounts. I have submitted all the documents through the application. I received a phone call from the bank just verifying the information. And within 5 to 10 minutes, the account is open. So you can see how convenient it is, how easy it is to open a bank account today compared to how it was 3 years back. In addition, banks have invested a lot in their online banking platforms. Now, if I may ask you a question, do you think if you want to get a record of your transactions, or let's talk in technical terminologies, if you want a bank statement, so this is the following question. If you want a bank statement, do you think you need to go to the branch to get that bank statement?
No.
No, you wouldn't, right? How can we get the
Yes.
bank statement? We can go to the online platform, right? Remember
Yes.
the 2 accounts that I told you about where I opened those accounts at home? I opened those accounts 1 year back. Believe it or not, till today, I am banking with them, but I haven't set foot in their branches. So accordingly, it's telling you how opening a bank account is convenient for you. You don't need to, if you want to withdraw funds, I'm sure that most of us might have the benefit application. Now with benefit application, it has made life a lot easier than how it was before the application launch. So accordingly, when you open a bank account, you have such sophisticated and advanced technology, then your life will be very easy. There are some banks that are offering deposit machines. For those banks that are offering deposit machines, you don't even need to go to the branch in order for you to deposit. You just go to the deposit machine, deposit your money, and go out. No interaction with anybody. It's just deposit to the machine, and immediately the fund on real-time basis will be deposited in your account. When we talk about transfers, let's say, for example, to my understanding, we have a lot of youth here as our audience. So let's say, for example, if you are studying abroad, you want funds to be transferred in your account and the bank that you have opened abroad. So accordingly, it is very easy. It's a matter of time where the fund may be transferred. Or if the fund is a bit significant, it could take 3 to 5 days, depending on the bank that you have. So this is the concept of a bank account. Why should we open a bank account, or what are the benefits of opening a bank account? Banks offer solutions. So I usually don't like reading through my presentations, and I want the session to be as interactive as possible. So let me ask you a question. What are the benefits of opening a bank account? What services can you get from a bank? What bank services can you get once you open an account? So,
Transferring money.
transferring money, great. Can I ask a question about that? If my account is in Bahraini dinar and I want to transfer money in dollar or euro or Japanese yen, is that possible? Can I transfer money in foreign currency?
Yes.
Yes, it's possible, right? What else?
Yes.
What other services would we benefit from opening a bank account?
Saving money,
Saving money, excellent.
investment.
Investment. Can you elaborate on that, please?
It's almost like saving, but I don't know how to explain. You just
I
keep your
ask
money
you
for
to earn interest,
yes.
right? I think this is what you mean when you say investment, earning interest on
Yes.
your savings. Perfect.
Yes.
Good. What else?
Paying for places,
For?
like
sorry,
restaurants,
Yes.
any services.
Of course. Yes.
Maybe acquiring loans.
Acquiring loans. Yes, definitely. Let me ask you a question. If you have 1 million dinars, inshallah, hopefully one day, if you have 1 million dinars, would you be comfortable keeping it at home under the mattress or under the bed?
Of course, no.
Of course not, right? So where would you? Where is a safe place to keep it? In a vault at your home?
No.
No.
In a bank.
In a bank. Why? You are putting your money in a vault at home. Banks put your money, part of it, in a vault in the bank.
Yes.
So what is the difference between your vault and the vault of the bank?
Maybe because they
insure
have insurance.
Insurance. Perfect. God forbid if something happens, you are protected. By whom?
Yes.
In Bahrain. The Central Bank of
Government.
Bahrain.
Yes.
Right? The Central Bank of Bahrain is the governing body of the banking sector. So accordingly, you have safety in terms of theft. You have insurance on your deposits. What else? You want
No,
purchase orders from
my money
Amazon.
is going.
For example, if you want to go for online banking, I want to make some purchases from Amazon.
Mm.
Can we use our account and the bank?
Yes, I think by the card, credit card.
If we have like a prepaid card or a credit card, yes, of course we can.
Definitely. What if you have a debit card?
I think, I don't know, it depends on the website, but they take extra charge to convert the currency.
Okay, so we look at currency conversion, online payments or online shopping can be done with the banks. Again, I usually share my experience with you. I have twin girls who are 3 years old now. I sent them to kindergarten, of course, before the COVID-19 pandemic. I had to make tuition fee payments, I think every 3 months or every 4 months. Do you think I go there physically to pay them? No, you can do it online. If they have an account, you have an account, you can make the payment, you can make the transfer. So there are many reasons where you can open an account. Companies, inshallah, if you establish a business, most probably it will be very beneficial to open an account with a bank. In fact, you would see a lot of other customers or other companies will not deal with you in cash. They will deal with you in bank transfers, because bank transfers offer, let's say, a trace evidence of the transaction actually occurring. So accordingly, when you have a business, you open an account. If you open an account, it helps you managing your payments, your collections, and understand financially where you're standing. Opening a bank account also allows you to reconcile. Today, I get my salary. Most of the time when we get our salary, how fast do we spend it?
2 days.
MashaAllah, 2 days, okay. In 2 days, we spend our money. Then after 2 days, what do we ask ourselves?
Where we spend our money?
Where did the money go?
Yes.
Right? If you have a bank account and you keep on swiping the debit card, tomorrow you get to know where you spent your money, right? One good thing also about spending. Do you know that your debit card or the ATM machine cards have limits for withdrawals?
Yes.
Why? Why is that, if I may ask? It's my money. I should have the right to withdraw it whenever I want. So why are there caps? Why are there limits for daily withdrawals? Why are there limits when I want to make a payment through Benefit with Fawry Plus? Why are there limits on my money with the bank? This is for consumer protection.
safety reasons.
It's for safety reasons. It's for consumer protection. Usually, during Formula One events or during major events, what happens to these limits? Before these events, perhaps the limit previously was 500 dinars. During these events, banks reduce the limit to 200 dinars or 300 dinars. Why? It's to protect you. So again, these are the benefits of opening an account. Now, what are the different types of accounts that are available for you to open with the bank? You need to bear in mind that the name of the account might differ from one bank to another. It might differ from one region to another, from one country to another. So don't pay a lot of attention to the name as much as how it is used. So for example, in front of you, you can see the current account. A current account in different regions, different countries have another terminology. It's a checking account. So you have the option of opening these accounts. These are the most common accounts across banks in Bahrain. You look at a current account, you have a saving account, a call account, a raffle account, a fixed account or fixed deposit, and you have the minors accounts. So let's start off. Basically, a current account is an account where you are allowed to issue check against. Once you open a current account, you deposit your money. When you deposit your money, you ask for a checkbook, and you would be able to issue checks for the amount up to the amount that is in your current account. Does it earn interest? The answer is no. Current account usually doesn't provide interest. It's just an account that is used to manage your spendings. On the other hand, a saving account, which is the most common account that is used by individuals, in a saving account, you deposit your money once you open the account, you deposit your money. Do we earn interest on saving accounts? What do you think?
I
From-
think, yeah.
Yes, yes, I do.
We earn interest on saving account. So usually how much is the interest rate that we earn? It would differ from one bank to another, but I would tell you that usually it is around 0.15%, 0.25%. So the amount of the interest that you are earning is very minimal. So my question here is, we have a saving account. The benefits are, it gives us minimal interest rate. Can we withdraw the amount at any time?
I think no.
Okay. In the case of a saving account, you can withdraw your fund, because once you open a saving account, unlike the current account, in the saving account, usually you get your ATM debit card machine. So with the ATM debit card machine, you can withdraw your money from the ATM machine. So in a saving account, you earn minimal interest rate. You get your ATM debit card machine that you can withdraw from the ATM machines. If I have an account, for example, with BBK, can I withdraw my money from ATM machines other than BBK?
Yes.
Yes, with benefit, you can do that. So these are the concepts of saving account. Now, what is a call account? A call account basically is an account whereby you don't receive a check book against, you don't receive an ATM debit card. So accordingly, if you want to withdraw your money from a call account, you need to go on the counter to the teller, fill in a form with the call account number and withdraw your money. So if you notice that a call account is more difficult to withdraw than a saving account or a current account. But the benefit is that in a call account, the interest rate that you earn is higher than the saving account. So accordingly, the benefits of opening a call account is it offers you higher interest rate. How is that used? Let's say, for example, again, I will share with you my personal experience. Right now, I got approval for a building permit to build a second floor and make some renovations at home. So right now I'm looking for a contractor, but I know maybe 1 month down the line, I need to make some payments to the contractor. So I don't want to keep my money idle. I still want to earn interest. But I want, at the same time, I want to have the flexibility to withdraw it 1 day prior to when I require it. So accordingly, the idle account that I can use is a call account for one reason. From now until 1 month, I am earning interest that is higher than the saving account. And if I find a contractor before 1 month and I need to make some payments to the contractor, 1 day before that, I go to the counter and I ask them to withdraw the money. So it gives you some sort of flexibility in drawing while at the same time earning interest. What is a raffle account? Again, if you have any questions, any inquiries, please feel free to ask me at any point of time. So what is a raffle account? Let me think of some names that we have in Bahrain. Have you heard of Al Herat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
نفس يعني البشارة
what's that?
نفس البشارة مال KFH.
Exactly. We have right? So accordingly, a raffle account is basically you open an account. Let's call it, for example, Herat or Lubshara. The idea of a raffle account is that it is offering you minimal interest rate, and for every amount you deposit, you get a raffle. You enter into a raffle to withdraw prizes. So, for example, a raffle account could be that if you deposit 50 dinars, you get 1 ticket to enter into a raffle. The raffle is basically from time to time, it could be on monthly basis, quarterly basis, semi-annual basis, or annual basis. They make drawings. And if your name comes up or your account number comes up, you win a prize. Now, what could the prizes be? The prizes that I can see could be in the form of money, $1 million. It could be in the form of deducting. If you have a loan, they cancel the loan, or it could have different types of prizes. So in a raffle account, the idea is that for every amount that you deposit, for example, for every 50 dinars you deposit, you get a raffle. So let me ask you a question. How can we increase the probability of us winning the raffle? What should we do?
The higher the amount that we deposit, the higher is our chance.
Exactly. If you deposit, you get 1 ticket. If you deposit 100 dinars, you get 2 tickets. The more you deposit, the more or the higher the chance that you will win the raffle account. What is a fixed account or a fixed deposit? Now, as the name implies, the word is fixed. That means that for a certain period of time, you cannot withdraw this fund, not on the counter, not by checkbook, not by ATM debit card machine. So why am I opening an account as fixed deposit? The interest rate that you are earning is higher than the interest rate that you would earn on a call account or a saving account. So accordingly, a fixed deposit basically is an account where we keep our money fixed for a certain period, and accordingly we earn interest on that. So fixed deposits could be for a period of, some banks offer deposits up to 1 week, some banks offer 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 24 months, and the maximum I can think of in Bahrain is 3 years, 3-year fixed deposit. So let's say, for example, I open a fixed deposit for 1 month. I have deposited, for example, let's say 100,000 dinars. So that means that during the 1 month, I cannot withdraw the money. By the end of the 1 month, I get my 100,000 back, plus I earn an interest rate or a profit rate in the case of a Mudaraba account that is higher than a call account or a saving account. But let me ask you a question. Let's say I open an account as fixed deposit for 1 month, and after 10 days, due to some emergencies, I have to withdraw the money. Can I do that?
I have to notify the bank first.
Yes, perfect. I have to notify the bank first. Do you think they will give me the interest rate for the full period? So let's say for a period of 1 month, interest of 1%. No, they might partly pay you the interest, or they have the right not to pay you any interest. There could also be some penalty charges. If you want to break a fixed deposit, for example, there could be penalty charges. We will have to charge you 5 dinars or 10 dinars or 20 dinars, depending on the bank. So in a fixed deposit, the advantage is it offers you the highest interest rate that a bank can offer. The downside of it is that it is fixed. If you want to break it before the duration of the fixed deposit, you will have to pay some penalty charges. What is a minor's account? As soon as my daughters were born and I got all the documents required to open an account, I went to a bank and I opened the 2 accounts for them. Now, do you think that before they reach legal age, they would be able to withdraw the money?
No.
No, they can't. There has to be a guardian. So accordingly, I am opening an account in the name of my daughters. I am depositing funds in their accounts, but the minors cannot transact on these transactions. So accordingly, a minor's account is a good tool for parents to make savings for their children until they reach a legal age. Once they reach a legal age, the bank allows the individual to withdraw the money. Any questions so far? If you have any questions, again, please let me know, and let's have the session as interactive as possible. Usually, what are the requirements needed to open a bank account? Okay, sorry, I'm just looking through the chat. Usually, the common requirements or the common documents required to open a bank account are you need to have 2 valid identification documents. This could be your passport, your CPR, and if you want to present the CPR, you need to present the smart card reader and the driving license. one important concept you need to understand is that these identifications need to be valid. That means you cannot present an expired passport, you cannot present an expired CPR, and you cannot present an expired driving license. Usually, the identification requirements identification documents are required by the bank to fulfill what is known as KYC, know your customer. Because at the end of the day, you are opening a relationship with someone. If you want to have a business relationship with someone, you need to understand who you're doing business with. So accordingly, 2 identifications are required for the purpose of KYC requirements. In the case of non-local residents, let me ask you, if I am, we are in Bahrain, can someone, for example,
يمين أو شمال، بقية الفقرة يمين أو شمال. خلاص دي أول حاجة.
I agree. For example, let's say an individual from France, he's French, and they come to Bahrain and they want to open an account in Bahrain. Can we do that? So can someone who's not from Bahrain open an account in Bahrain?
I don't think that he can.
Why is that, if I may ask? So if you go to France, are you not allowed to open an account there?
No, you can open an account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. You can open.
You
Of
can.
course, for us in Bahrain, if someone, a non-local residents, want to open an account with in Bahrain or Bahraini bank, we usually ask for a copy of the visa or the work permit. And this visa again or the work permit needs to be valid. Usually also some banks require proof of address. Proof of address is, for example, you have the electricity bill, telephone bill, you have in your CPR, in your smart card reader, you have the address itself. So we require a proof of address. Of course, again, for those who have the CPR, you take it with you, or if you have a printout of your smart card reader, that would be sufficient. Of course, there is an application form that you need to sign. That was 3 years back when we did not have these applications. Now, if you have the mobile applications, what you need to do is the form itself, you will be filling your name, your first name, your last name, date of birth, and the other information that are required. Then, instead of you signing, what do? We tick on acknowledgement, meaning that I have read and agree to the terms and conditions offered by the bank, and I also consent that all the information provided is clear and accurate. So even the application form now with the advanced technology, you don't actually need to go to the branch to get the application form. But in case mobile banking solutions are not offered, then an application form will be required. In the case of a minor, you might require the guardian's co-signature and documents above. So in addition to the passport and CPR of my daughters, I had to present my own passports and CPR documentations in order for me to open the account for the minor. Of course, from one country to another, opening a bank account will differ. So one of my colleagues recently sent his daughter to UK, and he told me that it's been almost 2 weeks for him going back and forth. Of course, it's not now, it's before the COVID-19 pandemic. It took him 2 weeks, or it took the bank 2 weeks for them to perfect the documents. So again, in some regions, opening a bank account is easy. In some regions, there could be some complications. They might require some additional documents. So accordingly, one of the key issues that you need to keep in mind, let's call it a tip or a hint, when you want to choose the bank. One thing that you want to consider is how easy is it to deal with the bank? Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer to have a bank account that has multiple branches or a single branch?
Multiple branches.
Multiple branches.
Multiple branches.
Branches, right? Why, if I may ask?
It's easy for us.
Easy for us to withdraw the money.
It's easier to withdraw the money. Perfect. Excellent. Now, if a bank tells you that all we need is 2 forms of identifications, And that's it. All we require is 2 forms of identifications, and we will open an account, as opposed to another bank who, due to due diligence requirements, ask you, for example, to 2 forms of identification. We want your previous bank statement. We want a proof of residence. We want a copy of your driving license. Which bank is easier for me to open an account with? The bank that only asks for my IDs, or a bank that requires so many documents?
The first is easier, but the second seems more secure.
The second seems more secure. For whom? For you, the customer, or for the bank?
No, for me, of course, because يعني I'll trust the other bank more, because I'll feel like maybe the security is stronger. يعني فهم علينا.
Yeah, got your point. Now let me tell you something. If there are enhanced due diligence by the bank, this does not assure you that they are more secure than the other banks. It just tells you that the bank has to do or has to fulfill these requirements due to the regulatory requirements. As I told you, it is more difficult to open bank accounts in some regions as opposed to others because of the regulatory requirements. If the banks fail to do the KYC requirements, which is know your customers requirements, then they will be penalized. So just one advice, it is not necessary that the bank that requires more documents means that they are safer or more secured. It means that they are doing their KYC requirements, ensuring that all the documents are met as per the regulators. So one of the considerations that we were discussing is the selection of the bank. Before opening a bank, before opening an account, you need to understand what are the options that are available, right? What are the options that are available in the market? So think about it as if it is this way. You go to a shopping mall, you like, let's say, a jeans or a dress or a perfume, accessories. Would you immediately go and buy? Or would you consider going around the shopping mall, look at what are the options that are available, look at the prices, look at the services that they are offering, and then you make a decision?
No,
of course.
on reputation.
It's better to look around, get to know what are the options available, what are the prices, what are the services that they are offering, and then accordingly make a decision. It's the same with the bank. You need to, before opening a bank account with a specific bank, look at the services that they are offering. Are they offering online banking? Are they offering mobile application banking? Do they allow foreign exchange transfer? What are the exchange rates? What are the, let's say, commissions and charges that they have? So make sure that when you select the bank actually meets your requirements, right? Number 2, as we highlighted, that there are multiple options or multiple bank accounts that you can open. So you need to, before opening a saving account, you need to understand why do you want to open an account. If you want it for saving and you are certain that you don't require the fund, opening a saving account will offer you interest rate. However, opening a fixed deposit account offers you a higher interest rate. So make sure before opening a specific bank account, you need to understand why you want to open the bank account, what services or how you are going to use those as accounts, so that you know what type of account to use. Of course, you need to read the terms and conditions of the bank. You need to inquire about, like, as we highlighted, the different banks' charges and fees that they are offering. Would you want to have to open a bank? Would you want to open an account with a bank that does not offer online banking or mobile application? That means every single time you want to execute a transaction, you have to go to the branch. I am certain that the answer is no. If I have online banking, if I have mobile application, mobile application banking or mobile banking, short terms, it offers me much more convenience. Inquire about what are the types of documents that you need. Perhaps you can visit the website of the bank. Usually they list what are the requirements. This is to avoid you going back and forth with them. But then again, with mobile banking, it's becoming much easier to open an account. You need to periodically review your bank statement. Why is that? Why do you need to periodically review your bank statement?
Make sure all your transactions are valid.
Make sure all your transactions are valid. Perfect. Now, have you heard of cyber hacking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of your network, people you know, that their bank account has been debited for reasons they don't know about? Yes.
Yes.
Now, I'll share with you the experience of one of my, someone within my network. And this is an advice for you. If you have a debit card or you have a credit card and you want to go shopping, make sure you do not hand this card to the cashier. Because in a matter of seconds, if the debit card or the credit card is in the hand of the cashier and you look left and right, if they take a picture on the front side of the card and the back side of the card, your money is gone. Your money will be gone. Part of your money will be withdrawn. They can go to online shopping portals, use the information within your debit or credit card, and accordingly use the fund in your account. Two experiences I could share with you. One of them is a gentleman went to dinner with his wife. They had a good time. He asked for the bill, and the gentleman working at the restaurant brought the bill, and this person gave him the credit card. And the gentleman took the credit card. I don't know for what reason he gave him the password of his credit card, because they told him that we cannot bring the machine to you. So do you think that is a good decision, giving your credit card to someone along with the password, or giving your debit card to someone with the password?
It's not safe at all.
No.
Accordingly, be very careful. Be very careful how you deal with your debit and credit card. Never, never hand it over to someone. Ask them to bring the card machine. If they tell you we cannot bring the card machine because it is charging, what should we do? We tell them, okay, tell us where the machine is. We will come with you and we are going to use the machine. So please never hand the debit or the credit card to anybody. And I will tell you one thing that is unfortunately common these days. Never ever share your personal details with anyone you don't know. We have seen cases where on WhatsApp, an unknown number or a foreign number sends a message with, you know, the display picture. The display picture is the logo of Central Bank of Bahrain. Okay, and
I have faced this issue.
What's that?
I have faced this issue.
Oh, perfect. So can you share with us your experience?
And
What?
I cancel. I receive one call from Dubai, from I think some shop in the airport. I didn't remember what is the name.
Okay.
They told that then my number, my mobile number is one, and some in the shop. I didn't remember the name of the shop.
Okay.
And then said 100% your mobile number. Just give me the card number and the details. I said no. This is something personal. They told me give me, and I give all the details of the credit card, and they take also the number that I received. I give to them that the OTP number. And then I called the bank. They told me no, you didn't give, and I canceled the card.
Was it a debit
And
card?
after this call, I always receive calls and WhatsApp calls, and the logo is the Central Bank of Bahrain.
Yeah.
After this call, before I didn't receive any call. After this call, always I receive WhatsApp calls and calls, normal calls.
Yeah. Let me tell you one thing. Banks, regulators benefit. We will never ask for personal information through phone. No bank will send you a WhatsApp message telling you that your CPR has expired. Send us a copy of your CPR. We will not do that. And if you think that it is a representative of a bank, all you do is respond to them, okay, I will talk to the bank officials. I will talk to the bank officials. They will keep on pushing. They will keep insisting that I am the bank and I want. Tell them, okay, thank you. I'm not interested. Block the number. Block the number. Close the call. Close the call.
Okay.
Don't take it. Yeah. I'll tell you one example. I personally received a call from a gentleman telling me, is this Ahmed Askar? I told him yes. He told me, congratulations, you have won a prize from Lulu Hyper, and you have won 1,000 dinars because there was a raffle. Now, you know what I do usually? And if I enter into raffles, I don't put my name as Ahmed Askar. I put my name as Ahmed Majid. So if someone calls me and tells me, Ahmed Askar, you have won the raffle, most probably what would it be? Is it a legitimate or a fraud transaction?
Fraud.
It's a fraud transaction, right? So just to entertain, to humor him, I told him, oh, that's very good. How much did I win? He told me 1,000 dinars. I told him, okay, where should I come and collect it? He told me, no, sir, don't bother. We will transfer it to your bank account. So can you give me your bank account details? So I just replied, it was a Bahraini number. I just told him, you know what? Take the 1,000 dinar and enjoy it. I don't want the raffle. He kept on insisting, no, sir, please, this, and that. I'm not going to share my personal details. I'm not going to share my bank account details with anybody. Right? So please, if you receive a call from anybody telling you that we are a bank, we are Benefit, we are the central bank, I'll tell you from now, regulators and banks will not call you to ask for details. We will not be sending you messages telling you that click on this link to update your CPR. This is something common that you might have seen, right? You might receive a message from the bank telling you that please visit a branch to update your CPR. That we might do, but we will never ask for you to share these documents online or to tell us through the phone. It's just a notification that, by the way, your CPR has expired. Please visit a branch to update it, right? So accordingly, if you don't know the number, if you don't know the source, and they tell you update your number, I remember one of my contacts received a threatening call that you are being investigated for money laundering. You are being investigated for money laundering. We are the government officials, so we demand right now that you provide us the account details. So the poor guy gave them the details, and he told me the story. So I told him I asked him a couple of questions. First of all, what is the first question that comes to your mind? Did you do anything wrong? Did you commit any crime? He told me no. I told him, then how come they are telling you that you are money laundering? And how come you believed it? And if you don't know the number, do you think a government official will call you from a mobile? No, they wouldn't. There has to be something official. So please remember, never share your personal details with unofficials. So
I have one question.
Yes, dear.
I have one question. If something will happen with us in future, what should we do immediately, and how will bank help us?
Can you please elaborate on something happens in the future? You mean if such incidents happen? If, for example,
This type of frauds.
Okay.
Such.
What you need to do is immediately contact the bank. If you suspect that your debit card or your credit card have been compromised, the first thing that you need to do is contact the bank, tell them suspend the card, so that they put a block on your account. Let's say, for example, one common thing is that if I lost my ATM card machine, just as an example, That means that there is the risk of someone taking the card and use the fund in my account. So immediately you contact the bank, tell them block the account. Usually banks have call centers. So immediately contact the call center as soon as you suspect a transaction has happened, ask them to block the account. Then if it is a credit card, you can, there is a form that you can fill telling them, for example, that a certain amount has to be refunded. So for example, let's say your credit card has been stolen and there were some transactions that you did not use the credit card. So accordingly, you can notify the credit card company and they will be refund you. Of course, it could take some time. It could be 10 days to 1 month, depending on the transaction. So the first thing I would advise you to do, contact the bank, block the account. And then subsequently follow up with the bank or the credit card on the possibility of the transaction being refunded. I hope that clarified your inquiry.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Now, let's move to the other heading. From what I remember, someone told me that once they get the salary, within 2 days, they ask where did the salary go. Now, when I graduated from university in 2008, I started my first job in September 2008, and that was particularly me. We just graduated from university, we got our salaries, let's enjoy it, let's spend. I always wanted to go shopping, I always wanted to travel, I always wanted to have the new mobiles and other items. Of course, our wants are unlimited. So accordingly, why should we save and not spend? It's very important for you to consider saving. And again, the idea that we usually have is once I get my salary or my income, I'm going to spend them, I'm going to spend it. And by the end of the month, if something remains, I'm going to save it. Do you think that is logical? Once you get your salary, spend it. No. Why not?
The other way around.
It should be perfect. It should be the other way around. What should we do first?
Saving.
Once your salary, save it, and then consider spending, right? So accordingly, saving is very important. I cannot emphasize on how important saving is. It allows you to have financial stability and independence. If you do not save your money, tomorrow, God forbid, if there is an emergency, you will see that you might have a liquidity issue. You might see that you could be forced to sell an asset. You might be forced to sell a car. You might be forced to sell a watch in case of an emergency and you don't have sufficient savings, right? Let's say not only for unforeseen expenses. Again, my daughters are 3 years old. One of my saving objectives is that I ensure that by the time they graduate, they have sufficient fund for their university tuition. Is it too early to save for that? They are 3 years old.
No, it's not too early.
Not too early, right? You would have a target.
I think early.
It's early. For me, based on my plan, it's not early. Actually, it's late. It's late for me. So we have targets. We want to plan. For me, it could be a long-term plan. I also have other types of plans. As I told you, I'm working on renovating my home. Do you think that requires savings? Or can I cover the construction cost in one salary? Hopefully, one day. But for the time being, no, I cannot. So accordingly, we have plans. We want to travel. We want to build a house. We want to buy a car. I want to spend 2 months vacation in Europe. For example, I want to, for example, pursue a professional certificate or my master's degree or my PhD degree. These require funding. The funding will not be available immediately unless you want to take a loan. But there are limits of how much loan you can take. So accordingly, that's the importance of saving. We have a target, we have a desire, we want to achieve it, so we need to work on a saving plan, right? So accordingly, it offers you what we refer to as liquidity, funds that would be available for you whenever you require it. So these are the reasons why you need to save and not spend. Now, there is a distinction between saving and investing. Basically, the definition of saving is that it is the portion of your income that you don't spend it, but rather keep it on the side for future expenditures. On the other hand, investing is that you use that capital in order to grow additional income. So investing, for example, includes transactions such as investing in stocks, investing in bonds, buying an apartment to earn rental income. That is an investment. So again, I don't like reading in the presentation. Which one is riskier? By risk, I mean the possibility of losing your money.
Investing.
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 In stocks, the value of the stocks drop, you lose your money. And the savings risk is lower because you are putting your account in a bank, whether it is a fixed deposit. So why, if investing is riskier, why do people invest and not save? There is a golden concept in finance.
Higher returns.
If you are taking
Higher return.
thank you very much. You're absolutely right.
So some people also go for investing because they know will not save.
What's that again? Sorry.
Some people go with investing because they know they will not save. They will not keep their money.
That is not logical. I mean, you are right. You're absolutely right. There are people who do that, but that is not a logical decision.
Yes.
You need to have both of them together. I received a question, I think a couple of days back. Which should people do now with the COVID-19 pandemic? And you know how the market is difficult. Should people save or should people invest? My answer is both. Why should you invest and not have the opportunity to invest? Or why should you invest and not have the opportunity to save? The key item here is balance. Balance between your savings and balance between your investments. As I told you, during difficult times, which one you think will be more important for you, your savings or your investments?
Saving.
Your savings. Your saving is what's offering you the liquidity. On the other hand, investing, your capital is fluctuating. Hence, the higher, can you see the pointer? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
If you look at the higher risk, the higher the risk that you're taking, the higher the level of return. So sometimes we might want to compromise on the return on the profit if it is offering me some sort of safety. Now, when it comes to saving and budgeting, do you know the gentleman in front of you? Anybody?
Yeah.
Who is he?
One of the biggest investors.
Warren
Yes.
Buffett.
Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett is one of the trillionaires of our world. He's extremely good in investments. He has a lot of investment companies. There are a lot of things that we can learn from him. And please, whenever you hear about Warren Buffett, we always say we should not compare ourselves with Warren Buffett, because Warren Buffett has billions of dollars. We don't have that money. I would highly advise you, read about his profile. Where did he start? How did he start? And then come and tell me that we cannot do what he has done. Personally, this is not an issue related to creating a bank account, saving and budgeting. We have skills, we have the willingness to achieve whatever we desire. The question is, can we drive that? So again, when you read quotes about Warren Buffett, he gives a lot of advices. I would again advise you read about his profile to see where he was and where he is today. That is what you can achieve. So Warren Buffett, when it comes to saving, he had a couple of quotes that I like. First of all, never depend on a single income. I keep on hearing people complaining that my salary is not enough. If your salary is not enough, what can you do? Think of investments. Think of investments. Think of opening a business. Think of entering into partnership. Complaining will not solve the issue. So never depend on a single source of income. Make investments to create a second source of income. And this is the important thing. If you buy things you don't need, that means we spend money, we go shopping, buying unnecessary things. I'll be honest with you. Right now we are packing some stuff. Today, I am surprised of the things that I was buying 10 years back. I forgot about them. I did not need them. It's unnecessary spending. So if I had continued with that path of buying things I don't need just for the sake of I want them, what will happen? You will end up selling the things that you need because you have spent a lot. You did not spend enough. You did not save enough. Spend enough. This is no way that we cannot do. But okay, so you haven't saved enough. You are in an emergency. You will see that you will be forced into selling things that you actually need. Your car, your mortgaging your home, many things. And again, when it comes to saving, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. And of course, if you're thinking about investment, never test the depth of the river with both feet. The idea is that if you have capital, don't put all your capital in an investment at the same time. Understand the market, understand the trends, then accordingly make your investment decisions.
How much do you think, how many salaries do you think are good for an emergency fund? Like, what's the maximum?
Okay, here, I want to emphasize, thank you very much for this question. You remind me of an important point. I often receive this question, and I often receive another type of question. What percentage should we save per month? I think more or less, is this in line with your question? How much should we save?
Yeah, like how much, like people say, like keep 3 months or 4 months or 5 months of your salary as a saving for emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
So asking like how many months do you see is like the ideal or the max? Because anything beyond that, is a necessary money pile staying.
Okay, my response to that is that my personal opinion, forget about these myths. Forget about these myths. I usually hear about people advising that you should save 20% of your salary. You should save 30% of your salary. You should save 70% of your salary. Or you need to have in your account a minimum of 3 or 4 months of money as a saving account. The answer is not 3, 4, 15%, 20%. I will tell you there is no rule of thumb. My personal opinion, there is no rule of thumb. Now, allow me to go to the next point because this also relates to your question and the idea that we need to have a certain percentage of our income as saving. Again, my personal opinion, I cannot say that 10% of your salary being saved is good for all of us. Let me ask you a question. Do we all save for the same purpose?
No.
No. Do we all share the same amount of salary?
No.
Do we all have the same sources of income?
No.
No. Do we need to pay bills similar to each other?
No.
No. My telephone bill reaches 100 dinar per month. My wife says I talk a lot on the phone. Her bill is 20 dinars. She chats a lot on WhatsApp. So accordingly, our requirements, our expenses are different. So accordingly, there isn't a rule of thumb. Our life behavior, our goals, our income, our expenses are different. So to answer your question, there isn't a rule of thumb. 3, 4, 6 months, it's not. It's not a rule of thumb. That's why, allow me to share with you a template I usually use for budgeting. And I'm more than willing to share with you this template. It's an Excel sheet. It's a very simple Excel sheet. Usually for me, I have a golden rule in life. Simplicity is the key. No need to sophisticate things. You need to have a budget. How much should we save? How much should we invest? How much should we have in our saving account? It all depends on your budget and your target. So basically what I want you to do, again, you can create your own form as just a plus and minus issue, or I'm more than willing to share with you this template. If you require it, please send me an email. I'm more than willing to share it with you. I want you to identify 3 things. What are the sources of income that you have? What are the sources of income that you have? What are the mandatory expenses that you have? I will explain to you what is meant by a mandatory expense. And how much is what I refer to as mandatory saving? So accordingly, first of all, let's discuss the first part. What are the sources of income that I have? I earn my income as monthly salary. I have, it's not me as Ahmed Askar, but I'm just putting the example on me. I earn monthly rent because I have invested in apartments. I also have other income, which is, for example, being a part-time instructor in different institutions. So accordingly, these are the sources of income that I have. So let's say, for example, I'm sorry, but can you also view the Excel sheet? Can you
No,
see
no,
No.
It doesn't show no.
Oh, okay. So,
no.
okay, sorry about that. I thought. Sorry about that. I'm trying to.
I think you shared the PowerPoint itself, not the screen.
Yes, you're right. This is what happens when someone is getting older and not updated with IT. Now, can you view the Excel sheet?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yes, we can
Now,
see.
again, I wanted to identify the following. What are the sources of income that you have? What are the mandatory expenses that you cannot avoid? And how much is your target saving? So we'll put the example, part of the example on myself. As I told you, one of the main objectives of my saving is that I want to ensure my children, when they graduate, they have the tuition fees. So let's say hypothetically, how much would I need? You are the youth, so tell me, what is the budget for sending my daughters, for example, to UK or to US? Shall we target 100,000 dinars per child?
That's too much.
No, I think it's fair.
What would be reasonable?
For you, like
500
per
would be
year?
What's that? No, if it is 100,000 per year, I would tell them stay at home. You don't need the university. I'm not going to spend 400,000 dinars for a certificate. What I'm referring to here is 100,000 for 4 years. I want to make sure that the entire education fee is available the first day they set foot at university. Realistically speaking, per child, let me do some calculations with you. Per child, it's actually 100,000 dinars. It's actually 60 or 70,000 dinars. I want to be conservative and make sure that I'll be able to save more than that. So it's 100,000 dinars, right? How many children do I have? 2. So accordingly, by the time they are 18, I need to have, you can view the Excel sheet, right?
Yes.
So the highlighted cell in yellow is my target saving. They are now 3 years old. When will they start university? At what age?
15 years
18.
later.
At what age?
15 years later.
15 years later, right?
18.
I have, think about it this way. I have 15 years to make sure I have 200,000 dinars. So let's convert. 15 years means how many months? we take 15 multiplied by 12 months. So I have 180 months to make sure I have the 200,000 dinars. So how much should I be saving every month? What do we do?
Divide 200,000 with the 180.
180. So how much do I need to save every month? 1,111, right? Let's say for the sake of discussion, shall we keep it 1,400 just in case costs increase? Does that sound reasonable?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's target the highlighted cell in blue. So we need to save 1,400 per month in order for us to save 200,000 plus some extra amount after 15 months. So what should I do? Let's say, for example, my monthly salary, 5,000 dinars, as an example. The monthly rent, 400 dinars. Other income, 1,000 dinars. So I know on a monthly basis, for example, my total income is 6,400, right? That's the first step. Identify what are the sources of income that you have, quantify them. Now, the second step is I need to identify what are the mandatory expenses. What do I mean by mandatory expenses? These are the expenses that we cannot avoid. We must pay them, otherwise there would be consequences. Without looking at the Excel sheet, give me some examples of mandatory expenses in your life.
Electricity and water.
Electricity and water, perfect. What else?
Education fees.
Education fees, good.
Mobile fees, telephone
Mobile.
fees.
Telephone.
Home rent.
What's that? Homeland, yes. What else?
Rent cost.
Rent, okay. What about if you have a loan with a bank? Can we avoid that?
No.
No. So
First
loan
one.
installment. What if you have a credit card? Can we skip it?
No, we can't.
We cannot, right? So accordingly, now you know what's meant by a mandatory expense. So let's assume, for example, I took a loan. My monthly installment is 900 dinars. My credit card payment is 180 dinars. My telephone bill, as I told you, I speak a lot on the phone, so 120. Electricity bills, 60. Children education fee. Now, there are some expenses that you don't need to pay on monthly basis. So I know, for example, that in March, I have to pay 600 dinars. Then in June, I have to pay another 600 dinars. In September, I have to pay 600 dinars. In December, I have to pay 600 dinars. Can we know these amounts and when we have to pay them? For example, child education fees. Can we know from today how much I have to pay throughout the year? Yes.
Yes.
You can. Go to the
Go
school,
to-
give me the payment plan. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Housing expenses, that means groceries, food, detergent items, and so on and so forth. For example, let's say 250.
Excuse me, I have one question. About
Yes.
this one, income, monthly rent.
Yes.
This one, monthly rent, we should pay. What do you mean about monthly rent and income?
Monthly rent.
Yes.
This is, for example, let's say you have an investment in an apartment or you have a building that you have invested in and it's generating rent for you.
Okay, the opposite way. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Okay.
If you are paying
Uh-huh.
that rent, then you would put it under what? Under the
Expense.
monthly.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So right now, my total income is 6,400. My mandatory expenses is 1,500. Let's assume that this continues throughout the year. So again, no need to use sophisticated calculations. Simplicity is the key. Simplify as much as you can. You would notice, yeah, and let's assume just for simplicity, that this is my income throughout. Of course, it doesn't mean in the other income that if you earn 1,000 BD in January, it doesn't mean that I would earn the same amount over and over. So it depends on how you perceive you will receive your income. So if you notice in the mandatory expenses, in March, my expenses increased. Why? Can anybody tell me why my expenses increased in March?
Because of educational fees.
Education.
How did you know that?
Because only you pay in March and June.
How did you know I'm
And
paying in
September.
March and June? How did you know that I am paying in March and June?
You
The answer
told.
is it's in front of us, right? It's in our record.
Yes.
It's in our
Yes.
record. If you don't create such templates, you all of a sudden you will see that in March I have to pay, I have to spend more, and 3 months, 4 months down the line, we don't know we spent our money on what. Let me ask you a question. Today is 9th of March 2021. Do you remember if you spent any money this time last year?
No, of course.
No, no.
Probably.
If you ask me a question, when did I last pay my education fees or my children's education fees? I can answer you. The reason being, if the amount is material, it's a mandatory expense, you need to have such records. Because if you don't have such records, we are human beings. We forget. We don't remember what happened last year. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember what happened last week. Unless the amount is material, I will remember. But if the amount is, for example, I have spent 1 dinar, 2 dinars, 3 dinars, I will not remember. So accordingly, we need to have such records so that you get to know where you are going. Are we reaching? Again, let me ask you a question. How much is our target saving? How much is our target saving?
1,400.
1,100.
Per month.
1,400.
Exactly. I always keep an eye on this. I always keep an eye on this. And I would advise you to encourage you to save. What happened to the font size? It increased. Make it bigger.
Yes.
Take a printout out of it, stick it on the wall in front of you. So you know that I must save 1,400. It's not can I must. That's it. If we cannot, we don't reach our targets. We have to make different plans. So accordingly, now let's go back. I am making an income of 6,400. I have spent 1,510. So how much is the amount remaining in our income? 4,890. Should we spend it?
1,890.
Should we spend it? Yes or no?
Take out the 1,400 first.
Perfect. Exactly. Take out the 1,400. Take out the 1,400 immediately. Before spending, before shopping, before spending your money on unnecessary items, the first thing you need to do is 1,400. Put it on the side. Forget about it. It's not there. But I would also advise you, this mandatory saving, put it under mandatory expenses. So you force yourself into saving. Because I will tell you one thing. We need 1,400 every month in order for us to be able to meet our target of 200,000 in 15 years. Now, for the gentleman that asked me a question, when I identified the mandatory expenses, the mandatory saving, did I give any rule that we need to save a certain percentage? No.
No, it's up to your need.
It's up to your need, number one. Number two,
Job plan.
your income, your expenses, right? So accordingly, there isn't a rule of thumb on how much you need to save. 200,000 for me after 15 years is what I must have to ensure my children's education are provided. So once let's say this target is reached, how much is the amount remaining after our mandatory saving? 3,490 in January. So now you are my advisors. Tell me, What should we do with the 3,490?
Invest.
Invest.
Invest. Okay. You can
We
think
should
about
go with
investing.
the non-mandatory expense, like
Consider the non-mandatory
payments
expense.
like washable.
Yeah. I would advise you one thing before investing. What's happening to the prices of educational fees?
They keep increasing.
They keep on increasing. Don't you want to take that into consideration? You don't want to end up in a situation where after 15 years, because of increase in education fees, the 200,000 now became 300,000. So what I'm asking you is, consider additional saving. Let's call it emergency fund. Let's call it an emergency fund. How much should this emergency fund be? It's up to you. It's at your discretion. It's up to you and it's at your discretion. So accordingly, how much additional fund we need to save, it's up to you. Once, for example, let's say I want to keep 500 dinars every month on the side, in addition to the 1,400. So per month, how much am I saving? 1,900. Right? So what remains after this is 2,990. That is the money that you can decide how much you want to save over and above. How much you want to invest in. I wouldn't advise you to invest the entire 2,990. How are you gonna buy dinner? How are you gonna spend? Of course, we are human beings. We are not robots. We are not machines where we only
It's all
save and
expense.
What's that?
It's all expense also.
Yes, exactly. So accordingly, I want you to think when you want to save, it's not what is the percentage I need to save, it's what is my target. The first question is, why do I want to save? Maybe my objective is a long-term objective, 15 years, but I also want to travel. Let me ask you a question. Once, inshallah, soon, COVID-19 situation is normalized, who wants to travel?
Me.
Of course, I will be in the airport before you. I will be in the airport before you, trust me. So accordingly, when we want to travel, we want to go on vacation, don't you think we need to save?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to save, right? If I think about buying a car after 2 years, I need to start saving.
I need to say, yes.
Yes, so accordingly, prepare the sheet, look at what are the sources of income that you have, what are the expenses that you cannot avoid, and before thinking I need 10%, 20%, 50%, think, why do I want to save? How much is the amount I need to save? And accordingly, do the calculations I've shown you. This is a straightforward calculation. No need to complicate things. I have a concept that simplicity is the key. I know my target, I know how to achieve it, and accordingly, I am going to execute it. It's okay. So let me do a new share. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation in front of you?
Yes.
Yes.
So with this, I have concluded my presentation. I hope that it was beneficial. And if you have any questions, any inquiries, please feel free to ask. I leave the forum for questions. Any questions, any inquiries, please feel free. Don't be shy. We are here to benefit from each other.
Can I ask about cryptocurrency? I'm not sure if it's off topic.
It's okay, you can ask any question. So what do you want to know about cryptocurrency?
Why do you think people invest in cryptocurrency, although it's risky?
It's risky. So what is the return? The return is high.
Yeah,
right?
return is high.
The return is high. I remember I got engaged back in 2016. My brother-in-law told me about Bitcoin. At that time, Bitcoin price was $200, sorry, $200. To another. When it comes to Bitcoin, there has to be some factors or some parameters that we can analyze to determine whether the prices will go up or down. When I want to buy stocks, I analyze the company. I analyze the performance. What are they doing? How are their financial positions? Is it good news or is it bad news? Tell me, cryptocurrencies, what information would you analyze to know whether the prices are going up or down? Hello?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What factors would you analyze to know whether the prices of Bitcoin currencies are going up or down? I can't think of any factor. I don't know what is driving the prices of cryptocurrencies. I don't know what are the factors that are driving Bitcoin. I've heard of a concept called Bitcoin mining. Have you heard of that concept?
Yeah, I did.
Can you please explain it to me? I keep on asking for the last 1.5 years, I keep on asking in every presentation where Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are raised, people try to explain to me what is meant by Bitcoin mining. So please pardon my basic IT experience and knowledge. Can you please explain what is Bitcoin mining in English? That means simplify it for me.
All right. So my sister just introduced me to this. She just told me, yeah, you have to go ahead with it. It wasn't through Bitcoin, it was through another platform called B. And it's the same thing, like does the mining for you, like you just click a button or something, and then it starts like collecting money for you for 24 hours, I guess. So that's the only thing. Yeah. And I'm not really sure about this.
Register my name, please, if this is the case. Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I did it for only like this is my 3rd day, and I don't even know what's happening.
From what I understand, and my understanding is very limited, is that it makes your computer has to do like complex math equations, and the more time and the more people mine, the harder the equations. So that's like to mine a Bitcoin now, it's like it needs much more powerful PC than it used to like 10 years ago.
Okay. First of all, when it comes to investment, there is no such thing as riskless investment. There is no such thing as free food in the world of investment. So if there is a button that you can click and it will mine, there are some key risks that you need to understand. I completely agree with the gentleman. If I can have your name, please.
Ali.
I completely agree with Ali, and my basic understanding in IT is similar to Ali. Basically, in Bitcoin mining, and Ali, correct me if I'm wrong, in Bitcoin mining, I allow my computer and my processor or my CPU, whatever IT terminology it is, I am allowing my PC to act as a processor. Am I right, Ali?
Yeah.
What am I processing, Ali? Again, to my understanding, I am processing data, right? Or equations.
Correct.
Where are the equations generated from? Most probably it will come from PCs that have previously processed the transaction. Am I right? Because at the end of the day, this is data, zeros and one. Right? So accordingly, basically what you are telling me is you are allowing your PC to act as a processor for data for which you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who has provided you this data. So accordingly, it came to your IP address or your computer address, and then you are processing this data and you are sending it to somebody else. So let's say if a stranger comes to your door, knocks on your door, gives you a letter and tells you, can you please send it to your neighbor? You don't know the individual. Would you accept that? Would you do that?
No.
No. Why is that?
Because I don't know her or him.
Exactly. For me personally, I'm not telling you whether it's a good investment or a bad investment. I'm sharing with you my personal experiences and why I personally am not in favor of cryptocurrencies. I'm not here to influence your decision. I'm just telling you that there are key risks in this aspect. Bitcoin mining, we don't know the source of data that is coming in my PC. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what I am. Ali, do you know the equation that you're processing?
No, it's supposed to be very complicated.
Does anybody know in the world, can they decipher it? So if you bring a very professional hacker who knows into IT programming and other items, would they get to know what is the equation that they are deciphering?
I'm not sure, but I've seen pictures like apartments full of PC components just to do the mining.
Okay, so I think the components are very scary as well, right? It's not like a normal PC. I think we're
No,
talking about.
actually, they use a lot of graphics card.
Yes, that would require. So accordingly, I personally, I don't like investing in things I don't know about. But again, I apologize for my humble IT background, but I don't know these things. I don't speak that language, so I prefer to shy away from that. This does not mean that I'm encouraging or discouraging. I'm just telling you the level of risk is high. If you want to go into investment, please make sure that your investment is based on sound investment decisions. Today, the prices are going up. Tomorrow, the prices are coming down. If the concept of mining is what you are telling me, Ali, then for me, it is dangerous. I prefer not to get profit if it is at the cost of compromising my security.
There is also a factor to consider that it's decentralized. So if something happens to your coins or whatever, there's no government that will cover back to you or insure you.
Exactly. It's not supported by any government official. It's not supported by any country. And think about it. If you are, if US investors decide, you know what, let's be aggressive on cryptocurrencies. So when you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, you would sell dollar. The value of the dollar will drop. Do you think governments will just sit back, relax, and watch their currencies dropping in value? No. They will start taking actions. So accordingly, my opinion, when it comes to investments, make sure you know what you are investing in. And if you don't know about Bitcoin mining, for example, you might want to read about it. If you still don't understand it, just like me, think twice before investing. I hope I responded to your inquiry about cryptocurrency.
Yes. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Ustad, is it possible for you to attach the Excel sheet for students to download if you have it, an empty version of it? Because it's possible to attach a document in the chat.
Oh, I can do that?
Yes.
That's interesting. Let me see. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think for one reason yeah, okay. See, this is an example of learning has no age.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, so I think file budgeting template sent successfully. Is that okay? Have you received it?
Yes, thank you so much. I think you sent it
Share
to
the
me.
presentation as well.
I think you've sent it to me in a direct message. If you can select everyone.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So is it okay now?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So let me see if I can share the presentation as well. Creating a bank account, yeah. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, if there are no questions, thank you very much. I hope that the session was beneficial. And if you have any questions, any inquiries, again, you can send me an email. I'm just typing it. It's askar585@gmail.com. Thank you, dear. So if you have any questions, any inquiries, please feel free to contact me at any time or send me an email. And thank you very much. And looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow's session. So
Thank
have
you
a good
so
night.
much.
You're most welcome. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. It's a great presentation, a great workshop for us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback.
Thank you to the participants as well.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. So have a good night and let's see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.